You're really tired of thinking about year end, planning for year end, checking on the gifts that are coming in. So I want to talk to you about your annual plan for this upcoming year and specifically about acquisition. I swear I hear this on every single call I have with smaller nonprofits. So like 2 to 4 million or less than 2 mil, they always say they need more donors. And with some nonprofits, that is truly the case. So they might have crazy high retention. It's concerning. So no one's leaving, but no one's coming in. So then my question is, do you have events? Are you posting on your social media? Are you on podcasts with different people? Where are you getting seen, and are you making the most of collecting prospect data? A lot of times I'll find, yes, they are getting in front of different congregations and churches, or they're doing events, but they're not maximizing data capture so that they can take these people that they've engaged with and steward them along the donor journey. So that's number one. What are you missing? And then you also have nonprofits that say, we post on social media, why aren't we getting donations? Well, less and less people are giving in response to just a social post. They're responding more to display ads. And so that's where Google Ad Grants comes in. If that is not something on your radar, you want to look into it. Google will give up to $10,000 a month to nonprofits to use to advertise. And so the other issue I'm seeing on these ads is you're asking for a donation when someone doesn't even know you. So that's, in my humble opinion, I wouldn't go about it that route. I've talked to a lot of nonprofits as well that have the grant and have gotten nothing in. So the question is, what is your messaging? What are you asking for? People generally aren't searching to go give away money. So what keywords have you targeted? Where are you showing up? And are you offering them something? Next After has the absolute best blog post on this. I'll link it in the caption, but it tells you how to go about acquisition digitally. And part of what they talk about is offering something to the visitor. Offer them a download that would be of value to them in exchange for an email. That way you can take them through a welcome sequence, cultivate them. Too many nonprofits use their homepage as well of the website to educate when who do you think's coming to the homepage? It's typically people that don't know you. Otherwise, people are clicking through your emails to go to blog posts or go to certain places on your website. The homepage should be designed to capture email or, get a donation, but it's very difficult to get a donation from a first-time visitor. You need at least 6 touch points. Let's talk about why I'm making this video. Direct mail donor acquisition. You know this, direct mail is not dead. You do not want to do only direct mail. You want to integrate your marketing channels, having a seamless message across. However, direct mail gets you open quite often, like a 90% open rate for direct mail, typically. And then on top of that, you tend to have a 5 times higher response rate on direct mail than you do in email. And so again, you want to seamlessly integrate those channels. If you can get a list broker that can get you digital data in addition to home address data, that would be ideal. In terms of the success of your direct mail campaign, there are a couple things to consider. 40% of the success is your list. So you need to invest just as much time into getting a good list from a good list broker, using modeling technology to make sure that the prospects on this list are modeled after your existing donors. You want to spend quite a bit of time looking into that and making sure you've got that just dialed in. Otherwise, 40% of the campaign success could be lost. The other 40% is just the offer and the writing itself, the package, and then 20% is the creative. So what does the outer envelope look like? How do you grab their attention? People forget you have to be open. You have to get your mail open just to get off to the races. This is a year-long process, multi-years. If you were going to initiate a new donor acquisition strategy, what should you expect? You would anticipate an initial net loss up front. It costs about $1.25 or a little more to acquire $1 from a donor. So for every $1.25 you spend, you're only going to raise $1, and that's kind of the best case scenario. So you want to be strategic and make sure everyone on board knows this is going to incur a net loss possibly. However, if you retain your donors and you continue to do acquisition and retain, you're going to make that money back. I want to show you this chart. This chart's awesome. So it shows you how long it would take to recoup the $55 donor acquisition cost based on the donor's first gift. So you will see if their first time gift is $59, you're going to recoup that money right away. If their first time gift is $22, it can take up to 4 years to recoup that cost. Another thing to talk about is freemiums, a front-end freemium or premium in the donor acquisition package. Again, the goal is to get open. So lumpy mail does well. So literally organizations will put a nickel in, 100,000 mailings. So they will spend $5,000 to put a nickel in every single package just to make sure it gets opened. So there are benefits to freemium simply from a tactile standpoint getting opened. Freemiums have got a really bad rap because yes, freemiums do jack up response rate. However, you tend to have a much lower average gift size. Now, this is the criticism. However, anytime you have a mass mailing, the more people you mail to, it's like a big net in the sea. You're gonna bring in more fish. It's just the average gift size is gonna go down simply because you've mailed to more people and you have a higher response rate. The other criticism is it's harder to get a second time gift from someone who came in on a freemium. So typically, let's say it's a non-freemium donor acquisition package, there's like a 35 to 45% chance of getting a second gift. When you're dealing with donors who came in on a freemium, the likelihood you get a second gift is between 20 and 35%, however, most are below 30%. Now, not all freemiums are equal. So if you give them something that has maybe market value, something like a purse, a tote, you're distracting from the actual message of the appeal. And how does that tie into your mission or the donor's impact? You want to give them a freemium that reminds them of your values, their values, shared values, something like a bookmark, something like a bumper sticker, something that relates to the message itself, something interesting. I talked to someone incredible today. He runs an organization called H2O. His name is Patty Brady. He is like this NASA scientist that creates these truly, not fake, absolutely legit, self-sustaining, corn mills and these things that make fish food, and then the fish poop, and then you feed the farms with the poop. I mean, he has all these really cool things. And so I was just thinking as I'm talking, how cool would it be? I've never done this, but what if I put a couple kernels of corn in a package? It could be to my existing donors, something that ties in to the appeal. So anything that ties in with the letter, that makes you memorable, that gets you opened, but messaging has to be spot on because creative's only 20%. So now I'm going to be a little bit, I don't know if you call this aggressive, it's humble aggression. There are a lot of agencies that will do this for you. You pay them thousands of dollars, they get you a modeled list, they do your campaign, and yes, they will get results because remember, even if their direct mail writing isn't that great or their creative's not that great, they got a list, 40%. And they're gonna do better than typically what you might do on your own because you're running things. This isn't your area of expertise. So I'm gonna go through one website. This is a company that does direct mailings for nonprofits, and I'm going to critique their professional work. The goal of this particular mailing that was professionally done was to lower the donor acquisition cost. It is an open-faced envelope. They do not perform as well as closed-faced envelopes. On the front, there's a teaser. You can bring light and hope to seniors. That's very vague. It's not very compelling because every organization could bring light and hope to seniors, theoretically. So I'm not a big fan of the teaser. So that's that. Also, blue is very difficult to read. Let's take a quick look at the letter, top right-hand corner, because the donor's only taken 8 seconds. Top right-hand corner, hunger, darkness. Seniors like Ruthie deserve healthy, fresh start this spring. Healthy, fresh start. I'm thinking food. I guess there's hunger, but there's also darkness. What are we talking about with darkness? I would say this looks like every other piece of mail I've gotten. What makes them any different than any other mailing I've got? So at least it's easy to read and it's in the top right-hand corner. At least they took advantage of the space. At least they've personalized it, dear blank. And now I start talking about the first thing you notice about Ruthie is her beautiful smile. It's contagious when she laughs. This is a happy story. They don't need me. I'm going to throw it away. Honestly, it takes, so the first sentence is all nice and happy, your first paragraph. Then the second paragraph, they're talking about her problems. She's isolated. And then they're saying most of us associate springtime with fresh starts. They are just going on and on. They haven't asked me yet, and I don't know where this is going, and I'm bored. Paragraph 3, which is that one sentence in the middle, that isolation can quickly turn into depression, darkness. What is that? If you're going to bold something, make sure it's a complete thought. It doesn't hang or bridge on the paragraphs before or after. I don't know. If they're talking about Ruthie, if Ruthie's sad and depressed, then they need to create a word picture for me in my mind in the first paragraph. Ruthie hasn't interacted with a human in over 2 weeks. She leaves her couch only to go to the bathroom and to pick up a snack. Her cupboards are empty. She needs help now or she will lose her will to live or she will die. Donor. Your gift today can help someone like Ruthie. This is just very figurative. And then you will see there is bolding. That's great. And I do see that if we were to only read the bolding, we would be asked to give a gift 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, in the 7th paragraph, but it's just too far down. And then they also say, can we count on you today to brighten a senior's life with a gift? I don't want to brighten a life. I want to do something meaningful that I can only do through them. So again, and like they do a good job. I don't like any of that. By the way, though, they do a good job talking about a gift of 35 provides 5 meals and then telling me how that gift can be multiplied to do more. That's great. A gift of any amount can make a great difference. They also, on the very bottom of the page, they don't split that sentence in the middle. If you want people to turn to this page, one of like the old school best practices is don't complete the thought on the first page. Have that thought continue onto the back. So stop your sentence in the middle. The other thing, let's go to the reply card. The header is be a bright light for a senior this spring. I could be a bright light by just going out there with my hair. You know what I mean? Like, tell me what I'm gonna do. And then you'll say, yes, I wanna be a beacon of light for seniors like Ruthie who deserve companionship, warm meals. Just take out beacon of light. Just say, yes, I want to give a senior like Ruthie, not seniors. I wanna give a senior like Ruthie, not a roofie, like Ruthie, companionship, warm meals, and maybe new beginnings. I mean, if you do a good job being concrete in the letter, you can maybe be a little bit conceptual. You can test it as well. You'll also see there's a lot of gift ask amounts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I would try to limit that down, as just donor fatigue is a big deal. So they could test this. The great thing is it's a low price point, low entry point. And then what's the picture? Ruthie looks fine. So if you're asking for money, don't give me a conflicting message. Now, she's a doll. I would put that in a thank you message. I would literally send a thank you message. I mean, you could use it like a lift note in the thank you note. I know that those are for fundraising, but you basically put a picture in there and say, you helped someone just like Ruthie, wanted you to have this to know what a difference your gift is going to make for a senior, because that's a great photo. And then their creative is interesting. You can basically cut out a ticket and send it in with your money. I would test this. I think it's creative. I mean, personally, see, you're not an average donor. I'm not an average donor because this is our space. To me, this is a lot of work, but I could see how the creative part of this would make people excited and they'd want to do it. So I don't see how it would decrease their response rates. What I do see though is they have only 3 tickets when they have 6 ways to give. So that's just confusing. Can you please tell me if you like this? Do you want to hear more about how you might put together a package for new donor acquisition? Do you want to know about how to come up with a list? You know, what type of response rates to expect? Do you want to know more about acquisition? If your retention rate is sky high, that means you need to focus on acquisition. Address the low-hanging fruit, events, anyone you come into contact with, but this is always on the table, and I have 1 or 2 organizations where I think this is going to be needed, and it will be the lowest cost option versus trying to do a major event or something like that. Just so you know, if you don't know me, my name is Danielle Wallace. I'm the owner of Grow Better. I help small to mid-sized nonprofits optimize their fundraising results with a data-driven approach to optimizing your entire fundraising strategy. Hungry. We take a global look at your fundraising strategy, look and see where the holes are, what we can improve, get you some quick wins, but ultimately make sure that everything you're doing is driven by data, your own results, and that we improve it. So if you're interested in working with me, you can book a call with me. There's a link in my bio. And otherwise, thank you for hanging with me. I appreciate you.